We're back for another episode of Inside the Valley. If you've listened to every single episode, you know that I usually drop the episode number here. I'm not even going to attempt. I'm pretty sure it's 15, but I'm not even going to attempt.
You're one
Welcome,
off, dude.
Dustin.
It's our Trevor Lawrence episode, man.
It's our Trevor Lawrence episode. Should have known.
Episode 16. Actually, you know what? It might be 17. We might have to check the tape. We might have to check the tape on that.
Might be.
And there's a big difference between our Trevor Lawrence episode and our Christopher Zena episode.
And how fitting that we're between those two on today's episode. Welcome to another episode. Hope you had a great Christmas, a very Merry Christmas. Dustin, how did everything go?
Good, man.
Everything you wanted? Santa Claus stopped by?
Yeah, pretty laid back, nice and 80 degrees Christmas down here in Florida. So, you know.
Hey, it was 75 here, so not much different.
Yeah. Hard to get in the Christmas spirit when it's hot outside, but it was good.
When I walk outside and my nuts are sticking to my thigh, it's not Christmas time. It's the middle of summer, but that's just South Carolina. That's just Florida. Well, unfortunately, Dustin, we started this podcast this year. And the thing you have to do after a game is talk about it. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, the Pinstripe Bowl happened. Dustin, I don't even know where to start. I'm a man of many words. Today, I have very few.
You know what's funny is that someone was asking me about the game. They're like, so Clemson has a bunch of opt-outs? And I'm like, yeah, it's, close to 30 scholarship players. And they're like, oh, okay. And they're like, which side of the ball do you think? I'm like, well, defense. I said, defense is just like gutted. I'm worried about defense. I think it's going to be a pretty ugly game. I think the weather will help. But I said, I'm pretty sure the offense will be fine. That's what I said to my buddy before the game. And it's like, that did not happen, man. That did not happen whatsoever. I thought the defense, as shorthanded as they were, played inspired at times, wasn't perfect, wasn't the most talented group we've ever seen wear a Clemson uniform, play defense, but they fought their ass off, man. That was 6-3 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, what more do you want from a defense?
Not much. And I had a tweet drafted that, thank God I didn't send. This guy was asking for betting advice for the Penn State Clemson game. And I said, I had this long tweet talking about taking the over for the same exact reason you said. And had all these people that were out on Clemson's defense and Penn State's defense. And I'm like, both these offenses are just going to be able to move the ball. Boy, would I would have been wrong. So I don't even have to raise my hand on that.
The funniest thing is I live bet the under after the first quarter, and it was at 33.5. So I slid right underneath the live bet.
Good gracious.
I watched the first quarter, and I'm like, these teams aren't scoring on each other. I mean, Clemson, the fake punt, man. I mean, the fake punt. There's so many issues with that. That's one place I don't know where to begin.
I know where to begin. What doesn't make any sense is you give your punter the ability to check into something if he sees a certain look. That's what I'm assuming happened, because obviously he checked into it at the wrong time. And then if you saw on Twitter today, I put out a tweet where it's 3rd and 1, and we have 12+ yard cushions on our wide receivers to the field, and we don't check out of a run play that gets us barely a yard. So you're going to give our punter the opportunity, the ability to check into something, but not our quarterback. The funniest part of that play, I couldn't help myself but laugh, was Vernon Hannafin, who the ball was supposed to go to, thought it was just a crappy punt and tries to down it.
Right.
And Dustin, what's even worse is that might have been Jack Smith's longest punt of the day had he kicked it. He was horrendous kicking the ball. Yeah. He averaged 35 yards a kick. He's been our best player all year round. Now, I know it was cold. I know all that stuff. But the Penn State's punter averaged, I think, 45 yards a kick.
It was a unit. I mean, that was a big boy punting and doing the kickoff.
I wanted him to come over and play some defensive end for us. We needed some depth. But good gracious. How big is that guy?
I don't know, man. Look it up. Do you want to know the nasty stat of the Pinstripe Bowl, Will? Do you want to know the nasty stat?
Do I? I guess I do.
All right. Penn State averaged more yards per carry on the ground than Clemson did yards per attempt in the passing game.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure Penn State was like 4.67 yards per carry, and Clemson was like 4.4 yards per attempt in the passing game. So Penn State was more effective running the ball than Clemson was passing the ball. More explosive on a run average.
We'll talk about that more later too.
Disgusting.
That's disgusting. That is jail worthy. Everyone on that offensive side of the ball, outside of Adam Randall and TJ Moore, which we'll talk about later, deserves to be in prison. Tyler Brown got some donkey hooves for Christmas. Wore him out into the game. Decided he was going to see if he could catch with those things. Turns out you need fingers. What's crazy? Gabriel Nwosu, by the way, punter, 6'6", 296 pounds.
Good God,
buddy, you're playing the wrong position.
That's a tackle. I mean, teach that kid how to kick step, Will. I mean, seriously.
Hey, tune in to our next episode where we cover Grant Wise. Maybe I'll give you a little kick step here and there. Did not have a 2020 season, COVID, yada, yada. Always been a punter. Was a punter and a kicker in high school. If I'm that kid's high school coach,
there's no shot.
I'm telling you, if you can fight me and win, I'll let you just be a punter and a kicker.
Imagine a 6'5", like probably about 250 at the time in high school, walks out to you and says, "No, I'm the punter at a high school." Yeah, buddy, you're putting your hand in the dirt. I'm sorry, kid.
Yeah,
like, you don't have a choice.
You're gonna punt from a 3-point stance.
Yeah,
that's insane. What was the question you asked before that?
Oh, I was just telling you the nastiest stat of the yards per carry, and that was one thing, man. Like, you knew that both teams were kind of starting backups, and there was second strings and depth, and obviously Penn State's coaching staff has been stripped. Knowles wasn't there. You kind of have a ragtag bunch. Interim coach. They got outcoached and outplayed in the second half of that game, big time.
Clock management was horrendous.
Yep.
Receivers played horribly.
Yep.
Outside of TJ Moore. Tight ends were nowhere to be found. The running game was non-existent. Attempts and efficiency could not get anything going. I think Gideon Davidson had one big run, nice 8-yard run. And again, the theme of our running game this year was one step away. And there was 2 runs, one by Adam Randall, one by Gideon Davidson, that they were one step away. 1 second away, 1 step away. I'm sick of that crap. I'm freaking sick of it. I really am. And we're turning on the tape and we're watching Tristan Lee get his absolute lunch handed to him by Dennis Sutton. Which, shout out to him for playing the entire game. I thought he was going to play a couple snaps here and there and then throw up the deuces. No, he played the whole game. And Cade Klubnik knows who he is. He's got his face mask imprinted on his chin right now. And Cade Klubnik, I don't know where to start because his receivers didn't bail him out at all.
Mm-hmm.
In half the game, he's complaining, yelling at his receivers for not running the right route, not going to the right place, whatever. I think that's 2 things. That's number 1, you don't have Antonio Williams out there. You don't have Bryant Wesco out there. But you have guys who've played all year. Right. Number 2, Cade Klubnik knew this is his last game. There was a lot of pressure on his shoulders that he was putting on himself to go out there and win with a bang. It didn't happen. And I believe it's because of all the pressure he put on himself. Some of the things he would normally do, he didn't do. Some of the times he would have just tucked it and ran it, he didn't run.
I even said, I think when Cade was playing this game, you're kind of thinking in the back of your head, like, well, he's got draft stock that he needs to raise too. Like, he wants to put some good film out there. Not saying that he was going to jump into the, even the 3rd or 4th round with a good performance, but he's still being watched, and he's still wanting to put good film out there. What throws did he even attempt that would like wow an NFL scout? Like, there was nothing. It was like he threw like little dink and dunk passes. He was wildly off target sometimes. Like you said, the receivers had drops, but there was no showcasing of Cade's talents. The playoff game against Texas was NFL tape.
It's almost as if he should have entered the NFL draft after that.
That game raised his stock. What Pinstripe Bowl did to him? Oh man! Like, I as an NFL GM, he is undraftable at the quarterback position. I'm sorry.
Really
I don't mean to be rude, but like he doesn't showcase anything. Like, what about him screams NFL quarterback?
And Dustin, this dude was being talked about as the number 1 pick in the entire NFL draft this year, coming into the season.
Absolutely wild.
And I mean, that was the theme of this game. Penn State was the number 2 preseason poll team.
Yeah.
Clemson was number 4. How many times did they show that? Drew Aller, who was their starting quarterback, projected first-round guy. Now we don't know what he's going to do. Cade Klubnik, projected first-round guy. He'll be lucky to get drafted.
Right.
I think because of his intangibles, maybe he goes 7th round. Might end up like DJ, undrafted free agent. End up being pretty good in preseason camp. Be a backup guy. But all these guys who were supposed to come out there and really improve who they were, Antonio Williams is not going to the first round.
Right.
Avion Terrell might. Peter Woods might. Nobody else. TJ Parker, you will be a 3rd-round draft pick.
Yeah.
DeMonte Capehart, you will be a 3rd-round draft pick, maybe 5th.
I don't know. This defensive tackle class is loaded for the NFL.
That's why I'm thinking maybe the 5th.
Yeah.
And that's why maybe Peter Woods doesn't go as early as people think.
Right.
I mean, you've got Lee Hunter out of Texas Tech. You've got Dante Corleone out of Cincinnati. You've got, I don't know, Zane Durant out of Penn State, who opted out of this game.
I think we already had this conversation on here, but Big Citrus, man, Dominic Orange,
Big
that's my
Citrus,
guy.
yeah. So we've got plenty of talent coming out, and those guys did something this year.
Yeah.
They kept it going. Peter Woods, he was average, as Dabo would say, average is grit. But I'm not gonna harp on that stuff too much longer. 43 yards rushing, that's never going to cut it. That's never going to freaking cut it. 33% on 3rd down, never going to cut it. Never going to cut it. 35 yards punting, never going to cut it. At least 7 drop passes. I thought I counted 10. Dabo said he stopped counting at 7, and then other media outlets counted us at 6. We probably had 6 in the first quarter. Horrible. We didn't force any turnovers. We had an opportunity for 1, I believe, and didn't get it. And then didn't score in the first quarter. And I know that's one of your favorite stats. Did not score in the first quarter.
I text you as soon as it happened.
Yep. Now, let's talk about some positives. Let's have the crap sandwich. Sammy Brown had 15 tackles.
Stud.
Sammy Brown played his nuts off. If you want to give him a knock, maybe he struggled in the passing game a little bit. Don't care. Don't care when you have 15 tackles. He was all over the place. Will Help, 8 tackles. You do not see 8 tackles from a defensive end.
Downfield tackles, like
downfield tackles.
Yep.
Yes. After this dude signed a contract to come back, he's making effort tackles in the Pinstripe Bowl. TJ Moore was playing hurt. This dude was blocking, playing hurt. And we also didn't turn the ball over.
I'll tell you who had a really good day was Kobe McLeod.
I agree. And you know what? The tight end he got in the tight end's head.
Yeah, he did.
And Kobe McLeod's an undersized dude in terms of height.
He had a really good coverage rep on him. It was across the middle of the field, and he had a nice little pass breakup. It was good. Like I was like, that's the best play I've seen Kobe McLeod make in a Clemson uniform.
And you know what? If Wade Woodis is out there, I don't think he makes that play.
Maybe not.
So Kobe McLeod.
Jeremiah Alexander didn't. He got a little head tap on the sideline.
He did. But I also thought he played well. He had 6 or 7 tackles. I was very pleased with what Jeremiah Alexander did. And you can see there's growth. If he comes back, there's growth. There's opportunity for growth. I like the young defensive ends. I like the young defensive tackles. I thought they all played fairly well. I thought Vic Burley had the best game of his career.
Yeah, he looked solid.
So, there's hope on the defensive side of the football. Our young corners got some dog to them. Corey and Gibson and Brandon Strozer have some piss to them.
I know. I hated Gibson and Ricardo Jones missed that tackle. Obviously, it led to a long touchdown. But Strozer had a good day other than that. Like his tackling in space has improved dramatically. Like if you watch that kid last year or even beginning of this year, like he never looked like he was getting ready to make the tackle, and now it's like he wraps up and it's solid. It looks like good technique.
Yeah, he used to run around like he was trying to fly a kite, like his arms out a little bit, like out of control, trying to make tackles.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, he's under control. He's making tackles. Case in point, the final game of the final play of the South Carolina game where he lays out, I forget who it was, on the screenplay. That was Brandon Strozer. That's how he's been tackling this year. He's playing with some piss to him. I like that. He's growing. He's gotten better. So it wasn't all doom and gloom, despite losing 22-10 to a beaten down Penn State team. I don't know what else to talk about this game. It's over. It's done with. There is some hope. This will be a completely different offense next year.
I was going to say there's a silver lining to that because I was in the camp that I thought Riley was going to end up staying. I know he was interviewing for other jobs, but I didn't think he was going to be fired unless he found another. Or sorry, he wasn't going to be fired. He's basically just going to find another job and leave on his own accord. And then the bowl game happened, and I think the bowl game to a certain extent changed Dabo's mind about retaining Riley for the next year, because Dabo's thing is always, if you look at the hires he makes or the changes he makes, it's all about confidence. That did not look like a confident unit out there. And I don't think they had a lot of confidence in what they were doing or what they were running. And I think that's a big reason why Dabo wanted to make the change.
You know why Garrett Riley got fired? Booking games with 25 rushes, under 2 yards per carry. This game, 25 rushes for 1.7 yards a carry.
In bad weather, nonetheless. You went up to New York to play a snow game, and you ended up throwing the ball 40 times.
Yeah. 3.5 yards per pass.
It's awesome, man. Good riddance. It's funny because when Riley got hired, I kept looking at like all these coordinators, and it's like air raid background. I'm like, nope, next one. Like, there's like just coordinators out there that are doing great stuff, and I like their offense. But as soon as I see air raid background, I'm like, just never again, man.
No, keep it far, far away from me. And, let's segue into that. And if we know anything about William Christopher Sweeney, he is not going to fire somebody unless somebody's already lined up. When he fired Brandon Streeter, very shortly after Garrett Riley was announced. When he fired Wes Goodwin, very shortly Tom Allen was announced. When he fired Thomas Austin, very shortly Matt Luke was announced. So this is the theme with Dabo. He's not going to fire somebody unless he has the ability to replace them already. Garrett Riley's gone. There's a lot of buzz floating around, a lot of rumors, a lot of this and that. The biggest, the names I've heard the most, and Dustin, you might have heard other ones, are Chad Morris, Todd Monken, and Cade Bell. And I don't know if the Todd Monken stuff is just people trying to wish upon a star.
Hand up.
Yeah, I know that's you.
Guilty.
Yeah, you're part of you're monking around. I know you've been monking around. And he's a hell of a play caller. I mean, look what he did in Georgia. And look what Georgia's offense has been since he's left. It's been very vanilla. They went out of grit and being able to – I mean, how the hell Mike Bobo still has a job is beyond me.
Yeah, well, there's only one offensive coordinator on the Broyles Award watch list. Will, do you know who that is? Only one offensive coordinator. It's Mike Bobo.
Yeah, that's unreal to me. That's unreal. That is.
But anyways, yeah, I mean, honestly, Monken went back-to-back national championships with a 24-year-old alcoholic at quarterback. I mean, seriously, like that's
a movie. That's a movie script right there.
It is, man. It's Blue Mountain State is what it is. It's just he went back-to-back with the Blue Mountain State offense. It's just crazy stuff. But I love Monken. I love his scheme. I think he's awesome. I think in college he's kind of a cheat code and a wizard. But he's not a serious candidate. I don't think we're anywhere close to landing Todd Monken.
He's a monk. He's not a wizard. Cade Bell is the other one I've heard from Pitt. I don't see that happening. And Dustin, I'd like for you to slap me because I think the paw, in terms of the logo, in terms of the brand, has maybe lost a little bit of its luster in the sense of it's not. I don't think we're going to go pull somebody out of Pitt and get him to come down to Clemson. I don't think so. I mean, Cade Bell is from Gainesville. He coached at West Carolina, played at Valdosta State, so he's around the area, at least a lot closer than Pitt.
Dabo's actually good friends with his dad.
Okay, I didn't know that. But
I forget what his first name is. Maybe Kerwin Bell. He's a coach in North Carolina.
Yeah, I didn't know that, and I know Cade played for him. Hey, I don't want another Cade on this offense for a while. I need some separation from that.
With a K. Cade with a K.
Cade with a K. That's okay. That makes it a little bit better. That's more Russian, you know.
I will say this to Clemson fans that want Cade Bell. I don't think he's that far away from Riley.
I think the most, and we texted about this earlier. I think the most glamorous thing about Cade Bell is that the potential to get Mason Heinstiel.
That's it.
Because if you can get him to come with him, you don't care who the play caller is.
Well, the thing I love about Pitt is their talent evaluation. Like Desmond Reed came out of nowhere. Western Carolina, right?
Yep.
So Cade Bell probably had a hand in that as well. Mason Heinschel was not a highly recruited kid, so great talent evaluation there. So for me, like Cade Bell is more of I love his evaluation of talent and finding lower rated kids and making them produce than I am his actual scheme or play calling, because I don't think he's like I don't think they're anything special in terms of the way the offense is structured, and I think that he's another guy that wants to throw the ball over the yard. He's not a very, very run heavy coordinator. And honestly, Pitt's offensive line the past 2 years has been so atrocious that it's so hard to even decipher what he wants to run on offense. I think he's had to scheme around that offensive line so bad that it's hard to even tell. Like some plays get busted within a second or two, and you're like, okay, it's just a broken play, and either the quarterback did something special or Desmond Reed made someone miss and they got 5 or 6 yards,
Right. And Desmond Reed is extremely talented. So you think about a Darren Sproles, you think about another, smaller guy, think about a Danny Woodhead. That is who Desmond Reed is. He is a playmaker when you put the ball in his hands, even though he's 5'9", 180 pounds soaking wet. He's able to make a bad offensive line look good because you just get the ball to him in space. And what Desmond Reed did really well in Cade Bell's offense is catch the ball. He was a very, very, very lethal receiver. I think last year he had over 700 yards, maybe over 600 yards receiving, along with his 1,000 yards rushing. So just a phenomenal player. We don't have that at Clemson right now. I think the offensive line is better. I think next year our offensive line will be a lot better than it was this year. I love Brandon Jacobs coming back, Elijah Thurman. We're going to have some dudes. I hope we can go get somebody so we can slide Elijah Thurman into guard. I think he's more of a true guard than he is a tackle. But he was successful at both as a true freshman and a true sophomore, and injuries have just cost him some significant playing time. Anybody else you've heard before we talk about Chad Morris?
No, I think those are the two guys. I think if it's not Morris, who is probably the leader in the clubhouse with the way it's being reported, it's going to be Cade Bell. And I do think we'd pull Cade Bell from Pill. I know that you're more like you're trying to be modest right now, but I think we pull him.
Yeah,
because I don't think Pitt's fighting to retain him either. Like I think the sentiment from Pitt is that hey, he's kind of free to go.
And I should tell you everything you need to know.
Correct.
Like that's my thing. Like I don't want somebody who the team is willing to get rid of.
You will not see me banging the drum for Cade Bell. I think it'd be awesome. I think it'd be awesome if we got Mason Heinschel or whatever, but Cade Bell is nothing special as a coordinator.
No, I agree. And then there was one other name I saw floating around that now is slipping my mind.
They just float names out there, dude. Like we're not pulling Shannon Dawson from Miami. Like I saw that in like a Pete Nakos article, and I'm like, why would you even say that? There's the guy from Lehigh. His last name's Cahill. I forget what his name is. Something Cahill. I don't know.
I'll look him up real quick.
Kevin Cahill.
Who could forget?
Yeah.
Kevin Cahill.
So he's been looked at for some G5 jobs, I guess, and he would be a good guy to look at. But I don't know anything about him.
Current offense coordinator at Lehigh is Dan Hunt.
No, he's the head coach at Lehigh, I think.
Regardless, I don't want him.
He's D2. He has never been Power 4.
Well, wasn't there there's like a player that was like linked to us from Lehigh too. What's this Lehigh connection to Clemson? Is that like the Clemson of Pennsylvania?
I don't know, man.
Keep me away from Pennsylvania for a little bit.
But anyways, no, I think all signs are pointing Chad Morris, man. I think he's going to end up being the hire. And I say that with little enthusiasm.
Me too. And I played for Chad. I thought he was a phenomenal coach, phenomenal person. He took time to know all of his players and to know what they were good at. Very, very fast in how he taught. Very, very fast in what he expected. And obviously the tempo was a big thing in his offenses. You were in shape. He wanted smaller offensive linemen, which is going to bother me a little bit when you have a guy like Braden Jacobs who's bigger, but I think Braden Jacobs is a good enough athlete to move around. They talk about Dietrich Pennington coming back at 6'6", 380, whatever he is. you're not playing in Chad Morris's offense. So he would be playing defensive tackle next year. But that's all speculation. But I know that's what he likes. The tight ends are going to get more involved. And if we have anything, we have a deep tight end room. So thinking about Chad Morris with Christian Bittenker and Logan Brooking gets me really excited. And potentially Olsen, Pat Henry, and Josh Sapp. We need a running back. When Chad Morris was there, we were running out 3 guys. My freshman year, it was Zach Brooks, CJ Davidson, and Roderick McDowell. So you had 3 guys who were legitimate threats. Zach Brooks was the power guy who could also catch the ball. He was a receiver out of Arkansas that converted to running back. You ever heard that story before at Clemson? Wide receiver converted to running back. CJ Davidson was a track star guy who walked on the football team, ended up getting a scholarship. Pretty good player. And then Roderick McDowell was pretty decent, got some NFL looks, Sumter boy. So the thing I like about Chad is I think people forget he recruited Deshaun, he recruited Trevor Lawrence. He helped progress Taj Boyd's career. So when you talk about a guy that can come in and develop a quarterback, every quarterback that Chad Morris coached is in the top 5 in almost every statistical category in Clemson history. So be that what it may. That got Chad Morris the ability to get a job at Arkansas.
And great productive wide receivers.
Right. So we were always having 1,000-yard receivers. We were always having 1,000-yard running backs. And we were always having highly, highly productive quarterbacks. Now, the NFL didn't like his system too much. Maybe that's different now in today's game. That was 12 years ago that he was coaching for us. The NFL has changed a lot in 12 years, believe it or not. So I don't know who to compare him to. Runs a spread offense, which I don't know how much he's adapted. Apparently, he was helping out the team Florida State week to come up with a game plan passing wise. But if that's the case, we didn't pass the ball very well in that game. So I don't know how much that moved the needle. So I'm curious to see if they do hire him. It doesn't move the needle for me because I really just want somebody new. I think we need a new face who comes in and brings new blood. Now, I think part of the reason Dabo would be interested in Chad is obviously they have a great relationship. They coach together already. Chad's not going to come in there and ask Tyler Grisham to leave, and he's not going to come in there and ask Kyle Richardson to leave, and he's not going to come in there and ask Matt Luke to leave. He would just slip right in. So I think that would be why he's the most lucrative for Dabo. You talk about a Todd Monken. Todd Monken is going to want to, if that were even realistic, would want to come in there and clean house. Maybe he would keep Matt Luke because they had ties at Georgia. I think they coached together at Georgia. So I think Chad Morris is the guy. I think if you're a Clemson fan and you don't like this move, you better learn to like it because it's going to happen. I think the shift is going to go very quickly from offensive coordinator to all these defensive assistants. Because in my opinion, Mickey Conn is not the only defensive assistant coach that's going to get fired.
Same.
Or is going to be going somewhere else. So it's going to be interesting couple of weeks. I would suspect that all this is done by the first or second week of January because the transfer portal is open. And
I agree with that.
Yeah. So Tom Allen's been very vocal that we're getting into the transfer portal for the defensive side of the football. We're already getting linked to the kid from Kansas I've seen play live. And what's his name? Lyric Null. Rawls. Buddy, he can play. He can hit. So you pair him with Ricardo Jones. You let him coach up a Contavious Anderson, a Polo Anderson. You let him coach up some of these other guys. Not a bad situation. So, Dustin, I don't know. What are your feelings on Chad Morris?
Oh, do you want to put tinfoil hat on for this?
Let's go ahead. Let's do it.
I think the Chad Morris hire is Dabo drawing a line in the sand and basically saying, look, guys, I'm going down with my guys. You wanted me to change. You wanted me to hire the hotshot coordinator. I did it with Riley. Didn't work. Didn't trust him. Didn't mesh well. It did not work out. He said, I'm going to draw this line in the sand. I'm going to hire who I want. I'm going to hire my guys that I know that I can trust. And I don't have to micromanage or I don't have to really, dip my hand in too often. I can just be the CEO that I want to be. And that's how it's going to be. And either you're going to let me hire my guys and you're going to let me go down with my guys or not.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. Dabo's a very good person. He's a very proud person. And he trusts Chad. I don't think he ever trusted Garrett Riley.
Correct.
And I think you could see that in a lot of situations. And you can see that where he went. Like, you knew Wes Goodwin was gone. You knew Brandon Streeter was gone when Dabo started to get vocal about what was happening on that side of the ball, more so than others. And after the Penn State game, the Pinstripe Bowl, talking about the offense, then Dabo had a slip in there. Well, the defense struggled too. I think he was doing that to cover his tracks just a little bit because I think he realized they were pouring it on the offense a little bit.
Yeah.
And these guys are human. I mean, Cade Klubnik and Adam Randall, two greats, whatever. Adam Randall, that is not a whatever for you. You're my goat. Have just played their last game of football. The last thing he wants is probably them walking off and everybody bashing the offense, right? Ryan Lithicum's never going to play again. Blake Miller. That's a great right tackle. Mm-hmm. Great right tackle. I think he had a pretty good game. Not a great game. Pretty good game. I think the interior offensive line was bullied in the Penn State in the Pinstripe Bowl. So it shows you O'Connell is not ready. Yeah. Ronan O'Connell is not ready. Harris Sewell has regressed since his freshman year immensely. Man, and like that's a guy I love after that Notre Dame game. So I'm really hoping something changes with that. But the other part of the offense coordinator position, Dustin, and this is where I want to lean on you a little bit. I think, unless it's Chad Morris, there's no way we pull an offensive coordinator without getting a new quarterback.
Right.
So who are some realistic quarterbacks that you would think that we're actually going to go after in the transfer portal? I listed a few. You listed a few. There were some that I think would be considered, but I don't think they would consider us. So I didn't take the time to put them on there. But you want to work through this list? Who would be your top three guys after you go through your list?
Well, the guy I personally really like is Jaden Craig from Harvard. Like, I think the kid's he's a good athlete, good arm talent. Obviously, up at Harvard, hasn't really been able to showcase that against a lot of stout competition. I think he has his Harvard degree. I think he wants a year to kind of prove that he can play football and maybe give a shot at the NFL.
Well, did you know that the Ivy League has a rule?
I did know that.
Play 4 years. That's weird.
So I think the Ivy League is going to send a lot of graduates down to Power 4, especially with like, why wouldn't you? You can go get a payday, get a master's degree somewhere, and if it works out, you go to the NFL. If not, you got a degree from Harvard and a master's from wherever.
Yeah.
So I really like him. I think he's going to be a stud. I think he's been linked to Boston College a lot, naturally, being from Harvard and Bill O'Brien and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But I think he's a pretty realistic candidate. Obviously, there's already been rumors of Josh Hoover going to Indiana, which obviously makes a lot of sense. He's also been linked to Louisville as well, two schools that are always in the market for transfer portal quarterbacks. So as much as I love Josh Hoover, I don't think we have a shot in hell at landing him. But the jewel of everyone's eye and really the story of college football this year was Drew Mestemaker. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you this. Drew Mestemaker is going to make a lot of money in the transfer portal somewhere.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, Drew Mestemaker has a connection to Chad Morris because Chad Morris's son Chandler played at North Texas the same time that Drew Mestemaker did, and they had a good relationship. So I'm not saying we sign Chad Morris to be our offensive coordinator and we're landing Drew Mestemaker. What I'm saying is that it gives you a foot in the door.
Right.
If that's someone you're interested in. But I think as much as me and you can sit here and say we need a portal quarterback, I don't think it happens unless one of the quarterbacks leaves. And I think the domino that really needs to happen that I would love to see happen is Trent Pierman follow John Grass to Samford.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to see that kid go play. Like, he's not going to play at Clemson. He's just not. He's never going to get meaningful snaps. And I just want to go see. I want him to go play. Like, I think he could be a good quarterback at Samford level. Like, he doesn't have Power 4 arm talent. He doesn't have like the size that you look for in a Power 4 quarterback. But the kid can play. Like Dabo likes to say, he has some moxie. He's kind of a gamer. He's got a little savvy to him, and he's familiar with John Grass. So I think the best case scenario for all involved is Trent Pierman follows Grass to Sanford, and then that opens up the door for Dabo to say, "Well, we got to go get a quarterback now. We lost one."
Yeah,
and that kind of kicks the domino, and then they get involved with someone who can compete with Vizina.
Right.
I don't necessarily expect them to go out and get a Mensa who's going to cost them $5 or $6 million to play 1 year of college football. It's just not. It's not how Clemson does business. But I do expect them to go and get someone who is legitimately competitive with Vizina. And if Vizina wins, Dabo gets to stand on the podium and say, "Hey, look, my guy won out." Right.
Yeah, told y'all.
And if he doesn't, then he's like, "Hey, I had to do what I had to do, and we're going to play the better player."
Right.
So,
and the good thing about Chad Morris too is the Texas connections. One of the biggest things we've been able to do, specifically with Garrett Riley, but just in general, is tap into that Texas talent pool. A lot of these guys we're getting now are from Texas. Talk about Marcel Gibson, who we're going to talk about soon, do a film review. You talk about obviously Bryant Wesco. You talk about Harris Sewell, Ian Reed. We've been starting to get guys out of Texas to come play football here. Cade Klubnik, obviously.
Corian Gibson.
What's that?
Corian Gibson.
Who is the RJ Mickens. So like all these guys we've been able to go and get out of Texas. Chad Morris continues that connection. We don't lose that connection. So that's helpful.
And hell, Chandler Morris. I mean, he's lobbying for an extra year eligibility. I don't know that he wants to play for his dad, but there's an obvious connection. If Chandler Morris wants an extra year and wants to come play 1 year at Clemson, I mean, the kid loved Clemson. He grew up around Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, he was there when I was there. It's crazy seeing him play now. I mean, I remember him as a little kid.
Yeah.
I don't think he would leave Virginia with with all the momentum they just built.
Right.
And he loves Tony Elliott as well.
No, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying that he would. I'm just saying you're asking for names. I think that's another name that could be.
Yeah. You need to consider.
He could be lobbying for an extra year, and like you said,
someone Dabo would be head over heels.
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, you want to come play for your dad? Oh my, all my sons played. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Come on,
the whole family, man.
And then you talk about DJ Lagway, who had connections. I don't think Dabo takes a shot on him. I don't think I would want him to come to Clemson, specifically because of what we've seen him do. I think you would get another Cade Klubnik, who's a little bit thicker. I think with what you're saying, with a guy to come and compete with Vizina, I think that's why Jaden Craig makes the most sense. If we can outbid a Boston College, which is mind-boggling for me to say out loud. Josh Hoover, I think with Garrett Riley gone, we don't have a chance with Josh Hoover. Right. I really don't think so.
He coached him at Riley coached Josh Hoover at TCU, so there was a connection there, but it's gone.
Right. Bryce Baker is someone that I would be interested in. And, when I was first looking at these lists, I was like, well, we're not going to get a guy who's not proven. But if you think about it, just like you said, Dabo, if he's going to bring in a guy, it's going to be a guy to compete. Well, a guy that's going to be best suited to compete is someone who hasn't played much. And Bryce Baker is someone we highly recruited, ended up going to UNC. I wouldn't doubt to see if they try to put that olive branch out. Now, I know traditionally, if a guy leaves or doesn't pick us, we really don't go back into that pool. But we kind of broke that last year with Jeremiah Alexander. So I don't know. I mean,
he's an interesting one. He's for sure interesting.
Yeah, I don't think Aaron Nolan gets touched. I think enough coaches talk. He's been horrible. He was horrible in the South Carolina spring game. He's played at Ohio State. He's played at South Carolina and did not get a lick of playing time. I mean, the South Carolina
off the field issues too.
Yeah, so like that's not somebody they're going to touch. Peyton Hooser out of ECU, maybe, but I think he's going to have some big time suitors. And then Drew Mustamaker, the lazy connection to say he just follows his coach, Eric Morris, different Morris, to Oklahoma State. But if you think about it, Drew Mustamaker could follow him, which would make sense, loyal, whatever. But why not go play somewhere where you're not going to wait another year to be able to compete? Because what is Oklahoma State going to be next year?
Right.
Nobody knows. You can come to a place that's already established and rock and roll with what you've already learned and let Eric Morris just start from scratch. I don't think that'll happen. I think he does follow Eric Morris. I will be lazy next week. Britton Sorsby, I think, is off. I think he's going to Texas Tech. I think that's already signed, sent, delivered.
So I'm interested in that. So like everyone's saying he's going to Texas Tech because of his girlfriend, but what happened to Will Hammond? I thought Will Hammond was already signed for the next year.
That's true.
So that's what everyone always says Texas Tech for him, but I always think they already signed a quarterback. So I don't know. I'm just saying
maybe we can get him. Maybe we can convince him. There's pretty girls at Clemson too. If he comes to visit, he'll find that out. But I don't know. He just seems like a guy who's just going to go to Texas Tech. He's going to trade his red and black for his red and black.
It's not like they can't. It's not like they can't afford 2 quarterbacks.
Ashton Daniels is someone you have on here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm higher on Ashton Daniels than most. I know I am. I've seen him play. He's from the area. He's from Atlanta. The dude's a gamer. He's tough. He makes some boneheaded decisions, which makes me want to shy away from him a little bit. But he was able to make a Stanford offense move. And when they plugged him in the Auburn offense, that Auburn offense got a little jolt. I mean, he adds a portion to the offense that you don't get with a Jackson Arnold who doesn't have an arm, with with whoever. So I like Ashton Daniels. Maybe it's considered. I don't know. I think the most likely one is Jaden Craig, and I would love, 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 love to see that. I really would.
Yeah, you think Dabo would pull out a salesman for a Clemson degree, comparing it to Harvard? You compare it to Harvard, like, oh, you got a Harvard degree?
I mean, he would joke about.
How would you like to graduate from Clemson now? You know,
I could go ahead and tell you, if he comes to visit, the first thing Dabo's going to show him is that Wall Street Journal where it's got Clemson as top tier athletics and a top tier academic program.
Yeah,
he's going to show him that.
He would love that kid. He would love that kid, man.
He really would. That would be fun. Dustin, anything else before we rock and roll?
I don't think so, man. I can't wait for the portal to open. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for Clemson, particularly defensively this year. I think we're going to land. I think we'll obviously be very active defensively. I do think there's some sneaky spots, like you were talking about offensive line. I wouldn't be surprised if Clemson's in the market for a tackle.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Maybe even a center. You lose a big-time center in Ryan Lithicum. But that was our potential Trevor Lawrence, potential Josh Vizina, Chris Vizina.
Josh Vizina. Josh Allen? Baby Josh Allen.
Was that a Freudian slip? Maybe we see the Josh Allen bump next year. Thank you for listening to another episode. Please like, subscribe, follow. This is a Walk On Red Shirts podcast, so please go give them a follow. Go subscribe to them. Follow Dustin Black on Twitter. If your name, you are guaranteed to get 200 followers. That has happened to me today. Dustin graced me with his aura online, and I got 200 followers I did not have. So if you're not one of those people who have already followed me today, I'm at Walk On Moose. This is at Dustin B 496020. Excuse me, 69420. It's 429, isn't it?
Yeah, 429. Yeah.
D Black 429. Go follow them. No, or is it Dustin B? Now I'm all
Dustin B 429. Yeah, man. I'll just put it at the bottom of the screen for you from now on. How about
Let's put it on the bottom of the screen because this brain doesn't work very well. We'll see you on the next one.